My mosquito bite turned into the shape of a key. Same location. 2 different times. These are X-rays from the US-Mexico Border Patrol. 18 years ago, 200 women lynched a serial rapist in a courtroom in India. After no action was taken against him, he used to barb the officials and get bail every single time. He was stabbed more than 70 times and chili powder and stones were thrown in his face. He was hacked to death in 15 minutes. The perfect justice? In 2004. It was the first incident in Indian history where the 200 women killed a rapist in the open courtroom. The rapist was getting bailed every time. On seeing no hope, 200 women with chili powder and stones killed him in the courtroom. Image of Shinzo Abe shooter and his homemade gun. Saw this while out driving. Can anyone tell me what it is? In 2001, a man wrestled a 7-foot bull shark to retrieve the severed arm of his nephew. After saving the boy, the man dived back in, seized the shark, and wrestled it to shore where a ranger shot it. The arm was pried from its gullet, put on ice, rushed to the hospital and successfully sewn back on. An old pub that's located in the middle of modern-day London. Photo of Iranian women arrested by morality police for not wearing proper hijabs. Since the 1979 revolution it has been mandatory for women to wear the hijab in Iran. On the 12th of July there will be a nationwide protest against the hijab. In 2014, a woman named Ruja Ignatova launched a fake cryptocurrency named OneCoin. Despite the currency never existing, Ruja convinced people all over the world to invest. In 2017, after raking in $4 billion profit, she boarded a plane to Greece and hasn't been seen since. Las Vegas police facing Mike Tyson after he's just bitten Holyfield's ear off. 1996. They did it. They overthrew the rich. Sri Lanka has forced their president and corrupted government officials to flee the country. Protesters in Sri Lanka have stormed the president's house and swimming pool. Amazing sand sculpture. Russian soldiers who refuse to fight against Ukraine being shamed as cowards. Green skies all of a sudden in South Dakota, USA. The Menhir la Tremblaise is a menhir in France that has been polished by thousands of women who slid their race on it because they believed it improved fertility. In 2013, a homeless man named Billy Ray Harris found a $4,000 engagement ring in his beggar's cup. A woman had accidentally dropped it while giving him some change. She returned 2 days later and he gave the ring back. In thanks, she set up a fund with the goal of raising $4,000 for him. It ended up making over $185,000. This coffee is served with a cloud of cotton candy. The coffee vaporizes to dissolve the cotton candy, and the cloud begins to rain with sugar over the coffee mellow in Shanghai, China. Photographed in 1880, Myrtle Corbin was born oedipicus, having 2 separately functioning pelvises and 4 legs. She married and had 5 children. In 2007, a bowhead whale was killed in Alaska by local whalers. They found the tip of a harpoon embedded in its blubber that dated back to the 1880s. A whale had survived over 130 years with a Victorian-era harpoon in its neck. Australia. They install filters in the sewers on roadside to prevent the garbage from reaching rivers. Now worship this cat, a cat resting on lap of Egyptian statue. For 4 years, Hugh Grant pretended to be his own talent agent. He communicated with people using a fake email account under the name James Howley and even disguised his voice on the phone with a Scottish accent. "I saved myself an absolute fortune," he said when speaking about this. People with astigmatism driving at night see this. Miss America, 1924. In the original opening credits for The Simpsons, when Maggie is scanned at the grocery store, the price that appears on the cash register is $847.63. This was the estimated cost of raising a baby for 1 month in 1989. 9-barreled shotgun seized from the home of Tetsuya Yamagami. The man who shot and killed former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. This is Nokubanga Kampi, or as she is known in South Africa, Lion Mama. She earned this title when, upon witnessing 3 men raping her daughter, killed 1 man and critically injured the others as they tried to climb out of a window to escape her. All near-dear charges were dropped after public outcry. Black sand beach in the Canary Islands. Mount Fuji with incredible lenticular clouds seemingly erupting from it, background, and Lake Tanuki, foreground. Fujinomiya Shizuoka Prefecture, Japan. Lala, an injured king penguin, was nursed back to health in Japan. He refused to leave his caregivers, so they adopted him and gave him an air-conditioned room in their house. He would explore the neighborhood, receive fish from the store, and lived with the family for 10 years, before dying of old age in 1996. She's a person. The pregnant mother is looking at contested traffic citation she received for driving in an HOV lane, as she claims her unborn child should count as a second passenger. Pregnant mother sparks legal debate in claiming unborn child should allow HOV travel. This is the average color of each frame of some films. Basically a spectrum of movie. WALL-E, Aladdin, Finding Nemo, Moonrise Kingdom, The Grand Budapest Hotel. The way this farmer created his signature. In the late 1990s, a cattle farmer was clearing land on his Texas ranch and decided to write his name in kilometer-tall letters, producing the world's largest signature. NASA uses it to evaluate the resolution of cameras on satellites and the International Space Station. In Ucata, Argentina, they replaced wooden light posts with concrete ones, yet saved and reattached the portions of old posts which housed woodpecker nests. A Buddhist monk wearing a gas mask throwing tear gas back at the police during protests in Sri Lanka. The incredibly well-preserved head of the pharaoh, CTL, father of Ramses the Great, over 3,000 years ago. This is Ada Firiscal, a Filipino police officer. On January 1995, her incredible instincts lead her to prevent the Bajinka plot, a plot that involves the assassination of Pope John Paul II and blowing up 11 airliners with approximate 4,000 passengers. She was rewarded $700. This is not a Photoshop or a merger of 2 photos. This is an actual picture of the Savailovskaya subway station in Moscow. A photo of marble quarry in Rutland, Vermont, circa 1800 to 1900. This is a transcript of a voicemail sent by a passenger on United Airlines Flight 175 before it crashed into the World Trade Center in 2001. Hey Jules, this is Brian. Listen, I'm on an airplane that has been hacked. If things don't go well, and they're not looking good, I want you to know that I absolutely love you. I want you to do good. Have good times. Same with my parents. I'll see you when you get here. I want you to know that I totally love you. Bye babe. Hope I will call you. On July 9th, 2022, the Sri Lankan people kicked out their government without any violation and being united with all the races in the country. While cleaning up the rubble from the World Trade Center attacks, workers discovered a shipwreck dating back to 1773. Head, ship's restroom of Navy destroyer USS Kidd that sailed from 1943 to 1967. One seat is painted red. This was called the hot seat, and it was reserved for crew who had sexually transmitted diseases. 4. Hercules the Liger is recognized by the Guinness Book of World Records as the largest living cat on Earth. Ants built a castle under the darkness of a flipped, abandoned bathtub. A close-up of Jupiter's cloud tops from the Juno probe. Wolves and ravens have a special relationship. When ravens find a dead animal, they make a lot of noise to draw the attention of wolves. The wolves then open up the hide and provide carrion for the ravens. Ravens also interact and play with wolf pups and yearlings, and experts think that individual ravens often develop special bonds with individual wolves within a pack. A woman posing in front of a tornado, 1989. Lala, an injured king penguin, was nursed back to health in Japan. He refused to leave his caregivers, so they adopted him and gave him an air-conditioned room in their house. He would explore the neighborhood, receive fish from the store, and lived with the family for 10 years before dying of old age in 1996. Went to a New Japan Pro Wrestling event and another redditor took a picture from a different angle of the exact same moment I did. The golden mole is more closely related to elephants than moles. Their eyes are internal and useless. A family lost their dog during Hurricane Sandy. After searching for 1.5 years and giving up hope, they decided to adopt another dog. The adoption counselor brought in the first candidate, and it was actually their lost dog. Double rainbow plus lightning. 2,000-year-old Roman flask looks like a powerful mana potion. The Nasir al-Mulk Mosque, built in Shiraz, Iran in the 18th century. It is also known as the Pink Mosque due to an extensive display of pink tiles in its interior. Light is magnified inside due to the use of Orsi, Persian stained glass. It's one of the most beautiful mosques in the world. Service charge in India is an amazing alternative to the faulty tipping system in the US. Service charge. What is it? It is a fee charged by the restaurant over and above the price of food and drink for the additional convenience of serving the menu items to you for consumption inside the restaurant. Service charge is not charged on takeouts and home deliveries. For instance, it is an internationally accepted best practice to ensure that all customers are treated fairly and equally, and all members of staff are aligned to ensure customer satisfaction. It is equitable. The cook, the cleaner, the toilet attendant, the valet, all members of our staff, not just the server, all benefit from your love. To use a cliche, this is what pays for their children's education. What is it not? It is not a tip. The service charge looks after our team members well, and no tips are expected. However, you are welcome to tip directly to an individual member of our team, if you should so choose. It is not illegal. Service charge is protected by contract law. It is not voluntary. The levy of service charge, if mentioned on the menu, forms part of the price of goods and services rendered, and by placing an order you are contractually bound to pay the same. £70. 5-foot cod caught in Greens Harbour, Newfoundland this weekend. For reference, the average cod is 27 to 34 inches and 6 to 7 pounds. Japanese female diver's amazing ability to get pearls. There's a long history in Japan of female pearl divers who start diving at the age of 12 to 13 and are active well into their 70s. They are known as ama, which means sea woman. They endure freezing conditions and great pressure from deep sea depths to get pearls, and they have a unique technique in which they release air in a long whistle as they resurface. Rare leucistic blue, white, catfish caught by 15-year-old. phenomenal lightning occurring in the volcanic plume during the eruption of the Calbuco volcano in Chile in 2015. Jamaica is the only national flag that does not contain the colors red, white, or blue. 3,000-year-old porous basaltic lava rock helps clean the water in the Willamette National Forest, Oregon, USA. Derecho turns sky green in South Dakota. Once a year, for a rare moment at 7:15 a.m. EDT on July 8th, 99% of the world's population will be in the sun. About 6.4 billion people in the daytime, while more than 1.2 billion people experience twilight. How cool is that? Pringles wants to rename a spider the Pringles spider because it looks like their mascot. Pringles started a petition to rename the kidney garden spider recently. Evolution of the alphabet. The web on the dollar bill is made by a spider. Alaska Rizar's billboards have appeared in Siberia after Duma Speaker Vyacheslav Volodin, Putin's ally, suggested Russia take back Alaska from the United States in retaliation for sanctions. Melanistic barn owl occurs 1 in a million. Picture shows comparison. Goodyear's illuminated tires, which were never mass-produced, 1961. Forest-like mushroom, Borneo glowing fungi are rare. Out of the 135,000 named species on Earth, only 100 are bioluminescent. View from the cockpit of Northern Lights in Canada. Gabriel Dor is a Mexican artist who lives in Dallas, Texas. His work is based on research of the visible light spectrum. Aerial images of Hiroshima, Japan before and after the atomic bomb was dropped on August 6, 1945. Ground Zero is noted by the bullseye. Bobby Leach was the first man to jump into Niagara Falls in a barrel in 1911 and survive. This is what uranium looks like. The design of this canal system. Cape Coral, Florida. Tree roots that are looking for water grow along the crevices and create a wide variety of patterns depending on the subsoil. Maybe I don't look up enough, but purple sky here in East Pennsylvania. I asked a neural network AI to show me a picture of itself. In Mexico, Coca-Cola cans are required to show warnings for excessive sugar and calories, just like cigarette packets elsewhere. Sketches used by the Soviet police to help identify suspects based on ethnicity, 1960s. In 1997, the Chilean town of Astillero asked their neighbors, the town of T, to give them their old church after T built a new one. T accepted and the whole building was moved 7 kilometers. The Typhoon class submariners compared to humans, who won cattle and spent nearly 6 months in jail for the murder of a teenage girl, until his lawyer found unused footage from HBO's Curb Your Enthusiasm that proved he'd been at a Dodgers game with his 6-year-old daughter. This lightning strike in front of a full rainbow during a storm 2 nights ago. It's been almost 20 years since this was true. $1 United States dollar equals €1. Ametrine forms when amethyst and citrine get together and makes wheat mineral love. Popular car colors by year 1990 to 2020. Ornithologist Jerry McGahan is pictured with a 6-month-old Andrean condor, the largest flying bird on Earth. These are the last thoughts of a victim of the 1985 Japan Airlines Flight 123 crash. New Zealand's Maori battalion practicing haka during World War II. The Milky Way core shot from pristine Himalayan skies. Salvador Dali paints the face of war 1940. Roman tomb depicting a deceased dog approaching a table set with food offerings. The inscription reads, "Behold the tomb of ELS, the cheerful little dog, whose lost a fleeting fate pained me beyond measure." Battle donkey, Turkey 1930s. Millions of Sri Lankans at the presidential palace to kick Gotabaya out. Lois William Wayne was an English artist best known for his drawings. He was diagnosed with schizophrenia. Below is a panel of his paintings that capture a slow descent into varying levels of schizophrenic episodes. A lignite mining machine compared to a human size. Led Zeppelin's fireplace in their private jet. Seating on a 1930s airplane. AI draws image, names it, prior to the Big Bang. Baby mittens made from wool around 950 to 1000, found in Akranes, Iceland. Survivors in 1972 of the infamous Andes plane crash. The passengers had resorted to cannibalism to survive 72 days in the snow. Over a century ago in England, men quarried the largest stone known in history. A view of the Pocono Quarry 90 notes us showing workers sitting on a granite block weighing an estimated 2,738 tons. It was claimed to be the largest single block ever quarried. Protective face mask, United Kingdom 1917 to 1918. Masks like this one were worn by British crews in tanks during the First World War. The leather mask is shaped to fit around the eyes and nose, and the chainmail was used to protect against splinters from explosions as the tank came under fire.